Thank you for joining More Than 2 Minutes. I'm your humble host, Wil E. In this episode of More Than 2 Minutes, we sit down with community leader and business owner, Richard Prince II, founder of Building Better Fathers, a nonprofit organization focused on strengthening families by supporting, educating, and empowering fathers. Through mentorship, community engagement, and practical support programs, the organization works to help men grow into stronger fathers, leaders, and role models within their families and communities. In this conversation, we explore the personal experiences that inspired the creation of Building Better Fathers, the challenges many men face when navigating fatherhood, and the importance of building supportive environments where fathers can learn, grow, and connect. We also talk about what modern fatherhood looks like today, the role fathers play in shaping healthier communities, and how individuals and organizations can work together to support families in meaningful ways. This episode is about purpose. It's about responsibility, and it's about the powerful impact of fathers who choose to lead with intention. So sit back, grab your tea, and join me in a conversation with Richard Prince II. Thank you, man, for coming out and joining me on More Than 2 Minutes.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
I appreciate you having me come out. This is so cool. This is very different from me. I normally don't even get out the house that often like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel special then. Thank you, sir.
It's all good.
I appreciate it. Now, before we get in, and I ran down your intro, and I don't want to necessarily get into, regurgitate that, but I know that you're an inventor. I know that you're a philanthropist. I know that you're an activist. I know that you have your organization, Building Better Fathers.
That's correct.
So I want to touch on all those different things. And before we get into that, though, I want to ask you, what season are you in right now, bro?
Whew. The season I'm in right now is, I believe this is my breakthrough. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of challenges that I've been facing throughout this journey of figuring out how to develop whatever God has put inside me.
Right.
And I've gone through the broken stage, lost my dad last year.
Yeah.
Went through the long process of trying to heal from that, still connecting with business and things like that. So it kind of put me in a spot where I had to really look at life as if you just have to tunnel your way out of
right.
whatever you're in.
Yeah.
And everybody has so many things going on, but I just felt like I was being attacked, and then you get to a feeling disappointed in all kind of different people. Then it brings it back to it all happened for a reason. So keep doing this, keep going. So yeah, it's more like my breakthrough, breaking out of myself and figuring out, okay, you can lean more on God and allow Him to kind of just navigate you through this little dark stage you have. So yeah, a lot of weight.
Yeah. No, I understand, man. And it's almost like you find yourself being two versions of yourself at the same time, but you're trying to figure out both versions.
That's correct.
Because it's I always say that every time something ends, something begins.
That's correct.
And so when you're in this transition of, you've got business to take care of, you've got your 501 to take care of, you got family to take care of, but then you have you to take care of.
That's correct.
And you're moving as all these things are going on. And so how have you been able to navigate that?
I lean not to my own understanding.
Yeah.
So the navigation really hadn't even been me, it's been God.
Right.
I more lean on Him now than I do whatever I feel like I should do.
Right.
So that's really how I've been able to manage and navigate. That, along with my wife, takes care of me.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. See, that's the funny thing about it, about being men, because I think that at some point in time, we realize the value of our partner. I mean, we when we say I do, or when we make a commitment, we understand. But I think for me, because I've gone through some health issues, and it's like when you're on top of the world and you're moving at 1,000 miles a minute, And then all of a sudden the bottom comes out from under it and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? And you have your old self, but then you have this new self, but then, and then, depression sets in, disappointment sets in, doubt sets in. But I think that the females or the women in our lives, they are the ones who really rescue us, and I'm in the same situation where, my wife, she was taking care of me when I didn't even think I needed to be taken care of. And that's a lot of gratitude that I need to extend. So
yeah, I married a little firecracker, so she's a lot tougher on certain things than I am.
Yeah.
But that's, like I said, everything happened for a reason. So, God will end up bringing you closer to people that, like, give you just what you need. Mm-hmm. Once you're in alignment with whatever it is that he's trying to do with you.
Right.
So that's really how I kind of see it. It's like she's kind of a little bit more than just a partner.
Yeah.
And that's really why I feel like, okay, that's how you develop. You keep moving.
Right.
You grow.
Right.
And then the stuff that they just feel like they go do, let them do it.
Yeah.
Just let them do it. Let them do it. Be quiet.
Right. Keep the train moving. We got to just keep the train on the tracks. So.
Leaders got to stay leading.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to put it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have this saying that, in life, we've got to learn to burn the boats so that we can build bridges. Ooh. And so it's heavy from the standpoint, a lot of times people are like, why are you burning boats? How you going to get home? And I'm like, that's the point.
We gonna trade in a second on that one. Go ahead.
So it's like when you not necessarily forget about your past, mm-hmm. but you don't want to look back at those boats because that's the rescue back to what you know and what you're comfortable with. And that's I say great. Build bridges because it's important to navigate new terrain. And I love the name of your organization, Building Better Fathers, because that's all about building bridges.
That's correct.
So let's talk about that.
Now, that is when you said about the boats.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, see, we too much close in sync. We doing too much on here. But the reality behind it is Building Better Fathers is about developing and building not only just the men, mm-hmm. but developing a new relationship with our partners, making sure our ladies are seeing that we have a new relationship mm-hmm. with them, mm-hmm. even if we're not together with them.
Right.
Because ultimately, everybody's who they are based on some experience.
Yeah.
So if we sit back and we have everybody not getting a more positive or an experience that helps them develop, mm-hmm. are we really building anything?
Yeah.
And when we're dealing with fatherhood, we're dealing with foundation. Mm-hmm. And that's where I want to go with is create a way for us to keep developing our foundation.
Yeah.
And back to the boats.
Yeah.
I tell all the guys this. I say, if I got a ship and you got a ship, then that means if your ship leaks a little bit, you can jump on my ship. Yeah. We will fix your ship. Yeah. And then we will both have ships. Yeah. Yeah. And if we keep building ships, then pretty soon we're going to look like a harbor. Yeah. Yeah. I like that because because it's support. It's all it is support, giving, and moving forward. Because have you ever noticed that when you're in a situation where you're working with a bunch of people mm-hmm. and everybody put everything into just that. Yeah. And then something happens, mm-hmm. everybody gets to blaming each other. Yeah. Yeah. The blame game. Yeah. So it's important that we don't just look at what we want to do. Mm-hmm. We look at what somebody else wants to do mm-hmm. and we help them with what's inside of them. Yeah. I don't have a way of not thinking like that. When I meet somebody, they automatically start looking at what I have and what I'm doing mm-hmm. and start thinking, oh man, he's trying to go somewhere. And me, in my brain, I'm thinking, actually, I built this for you. Right, right. So I was like, so we can figure out whatever's inside you, we can develop it and grow it and then take it to another level. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's that inventor in you. And that's the thing that I love, because if you think about it, everything that's been created and invented
it's been done for someone else or something else. It's to grow, to make things bigger, to make it better. And I don't think people really understand that from the concept that, especially when it comes to an ideal. Okay, you take an ideal and you're going to harbor it to yourself. You're going to keep it to yourself. No, you're not. You're going to push it out. And that's very challenging. I remember when I was running for city council, my whole thing was, okay, we need to have collective conversations so that we can have shared equal sacrifice. And that's bringing everyone into the town square, everyone into the middle to give voice to the ideal.
And that's a great way of thinking. But I believe that we have to grow to that point to where we can appreciate each other.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Because a lot of times we don't appreciate each other enough to want to hear each other, or we don't work with each other. We work off each other.
Ooh. Wow.
So that's really how I kind of went into really deeply developing this whole system.
Right.
Because I knew that if by chance that I say I want to help somebody, I need to not be able to tell them what to do. I need to be able to have resources to help them do what they're trying to do.
Right.
So that's why I developed all the businesses around everything that I'm doing, because I originally started off singing, doing music, and went from there to developing websites and web trafficking and stuff like that. Then I started realizing that you become lonely because no one wants to help you.
Right.
But then I'd hear people say, you got to be who you want to see.
Okay.
So then I transformed my own mind to start thinking, okay, well, let me get out there and help people with what they got going on.
Right.
And let me create a way to do that. Right. So that's really always my mindset, whether anybody knows it or not.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can't really show people things when their mind's not looking at what you're trying to do anyways.
Yeah.
Their mind is constantly thinking about, well, what's going to make me look cooler?
Right.
And so if you focus on what's going to make you look cooler rather than focusing on giving somebody a better experience.
That's heavy, man. It's interesting that you are in the space of being a facilitator. Vivian, she's watching this new show on Netflix called Running Point. And it's a basketball show, but the whole thing is about, okay, being the facilitator, dishing out whatever needs, whatever we need to do to get the points. And I like what you're doing, not only with the concept, but with the practice, and that's the hard thing, to actually put it into practice. Now, I noticed you said you were talking about foundations of fatherhood. So to you, in your experience and as you've worked with different fathers, what do you think are some of those foundations?
Some of the foundations of fatherhood is just dealing with yourself and pride.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be one of the first things that I try to tell them, in fatherhood, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to know all the answers. And in fatherhood, you never know, even if you don't have kids, you're still a potential father.
Yeah.
This is about pouring into all our men and developing a way for them to climb out of their dark space.
Wow. Okay.
Because a lot of times we have so much that people look at us expecting us to be so strong, expecting us to not show any sign of weakness.
Right.
And at the same time, just letting everything go off your shoulders. Like, you shouldn't be worried about that. Nothing's happening. And it's like, in reality, I should. Because I shouldn't have to look at you like you're a competition. I shouldn't have to look at you like we're not brothers or we can't help each other.
Right.
I wouldn't care if we both had the same hot dog stand or whatever, Yeah. All right. You talk about my hot dog stand. I talk about your hot dog stand.
Right.
And we'll pub each other.
Right.
they got over there something. Let's go get something that we both don't have and drive clients to each other, stuff like that.
Right.
You had the chips, I had the fries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's how you can work together and really develop and build.
Yeah.
But if you don't see people like that, and you think like that, you need to be that, and just roll with whatever coming with that.
Wow. I like that.
And then that way, it's kind of like a story. I don't want to do it. I don't preach. My father's a pastor. My grandfather, uncle, everybody's pastors. This is in me.
Yeah.
But there was a story about Jonah, and Jonah was sent to go speak to some people. So then the reality behind it is they didn't change when he wanted them to change. It didn't happen as though he wanted to. So he was hoping something bad was going to happen to him.
Right.
But he was an example to them.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, they still changed, and he's sitting there mad about it, but he forgot how he had been through some things, and then at the same time, he too was saved.
Yeah.
So these are the types of things, these are just stories that a lot of people just don't understand why they're put in place.
Right.
But sometimes you need an analogy, a good one, to be able to put your mind in the right place.
Absolutely. And it's interesting listening to you, and because I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, like, how was this man created? And where exactly did this wisdom and these ideals, where did it come from? So let's take a couple of steps back, and I want to know, where were you born?
I was born in South Dallas.
South Dallas.
In the hood. On a street called Dat Street, D-A-T-H-E.
Okay.
Everybody used to joke, say it was called Date. But I was born on this street.
Okay.
My mother was a clerk. She was also a teacher. My dad, he was a pastor, and he was also an accountant. So I used to joke with people saying that all I know is God and money. So I don't really know what else to talk to you about. My wife said, you don't even have social skills. So she's like, you keep talking to people about nothing but this business stuff, and you need to relax. And right. I'm just like, what else is there in this world? What else are we trying to do with our lives? Because if you're hurting, and we know we're going to have grandkids or kids looking up to us,
right?
Why are we actually out showing them we should be doing something? And it's not a knock anybody for having fun and relaxing and stuff like that. Right. I just think that we need to be reevaluating where we are, what we're doing, and become something bigger. Yeah. And I think everything that starts small, it evolves. Everything starts small and it evolves, every single thing. And before I go with this thought, I want to ask you, so high school, did you go to Lincoln? No.
Where'd you go?
I went to, so my pop moved around a lot.
Okay.
I was in about 9 schools.
Oh, okay.
So I done went to all of them. I started out at Charles Rice. Yeah. And then I pretty much done moved all over, from Balch Springs to Maybank, Texas. Yeah. To Mesquite. Yeah. To Highland Hills. Yeah. To Highland Park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even way over there, Highland Park area. Yeah. So we were really all over the place. Okay. And my dad had a ministry. It was Canaan Valley Ministries. Okay. And my grandfather was the pastor of a church called Pilgrim Rest. And so all I ever seen was big business deals going on. Right. All I ever seen was organizations being set up and stuff like that. And everybody was moving. Everybody's moving. So I didn't have friends when we weren't out playing basketball and all that stuff like that. I was watching them put together the team. Yeah. Do you have a particular memory from that time? I mean, I know that you were moving and shaking and a lot was going on, but, as you were observing these men do their thing, I mean, was there anything that you kind of latched on to and you said, okay? My dad had a homeless shelter. Okay. And I watched him build it from the ground up. I watched the city pay attention to him building it up. They wanted the property that he was on. Okay. So they had him going through a whole bunch of different back and forth with courts, in which one day he was supposed to show up at one time, and I was with him, and they did a recess.
Okay.
And when he went away, they switched it back and then went into court.
Wow.
And then ended up getting us off of the property.
Yeah.
And when they did that, the news came. And when the news came, they did a story on us and saw how my dad came in and revitalized the whole property.
Right, right.
Well, somebody called from that news report, and they actually donated an entire neighborhood.
Really?
And that stood out in my mind forever.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
That it doesn't matter what your situation looks like.
Right.
And I saw them trailblaze in such a way that it caused me to believe I could do something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing. My dad used to tell me all the time, Richard, you don't have to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you already got one. You already who you're supposed to be.
Right.
And you just need to focus on doing what you got to do.
Right.
And so that's why I always felt like there was no boundaries for me. There was nothing that I couldn't create or go. I was around doctors, lawyers, and scientists and stuff because my dad kept moving around. And he was an accountant.
Right.
So he worked for UT Southern Medical Center in Dallas.
Yeah.
And while he was working, I can't be in there where he's counting their money. So he would send me where the doctors and scientists were. Right. So I'm over there playing with dry ice and all that stuff like that. But little did I know that this stuff was like gonna go in my brain and make me start wanting to create stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm literally around those people dropping off robots and stuff and all kind of things. And I just had one of those lives where it's almost like, dude, what's going on? And then all of a sudden at 16, out of nowhere, I just, both my parents just disappeared on me.
Wow.
Like, they just went through a thing. You know, and then they did their split like every other, a lot of kids, you know.
Right.
So now it was like God was saying that you need a time period where you got to be relatable.
Right.
And so you can't walk around thinking it's like this. So I was 16 years old, and it was really rough to see my dad just vanish. And he was a little hurt about some things. And then so he just disappeared. And then right after that, my mom said, "You look just like your dad." And she bounced too.
Oh, wow,
and I was like, whoa. And then next thing you know, I had to go through that point of understanding our parents are going to be just like us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing you got to do is forgive your parents.
Right.
And then the second thing you got to do is forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then you need to reevaluate where it is you see yourself and where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do because I ended up having a daughter. And so I was working at Chili's. And when I was working at Chili's, they didn't even, at the time, they didn't think dad should be having babies. Just with them. Yeah. Like when you say, "Hey, look, I'm watching my child," they'd be like, "No," because at that time period, all the mamas had them or all the grandparents had them.
Right.
So they were shocked at me walking around talking about, "No, I have my daughter. I have to watch her. I have to keep her. And I was taking. They was like, "Well, show us."
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay." I went and dropped her butt right with me in a booth next to me while I was working at Chili's, and they was like, "Okay, we get it." We get it.
Like, it's real.
It's real. Okay. And so after that, a bank president walked in. I'll never forget this. It was in 2004. He walked in, and he had been coming there forever. And he said, "Richard, what are you still doing here at Chili's?" He said, "Come over and see me."
Right.
Larry Miller, I'll never forget him. He is now the CEO of North Dallas Bank.
Wow.
And so he invited me over to his office, and I'm thinking he finna offer me a job.
Right.
And he was like, "So Richard, do you know how to eat an elephant?" And I'm like, you called me over here for this? You really called me over here asking me about eating elephants?
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, man, I hope he's trying to give me a job. And then he's like, what do you plan on doing? You're like, I was telling him I want to start a business. I want to say, do you have a plan for that? And I wrote out something. It wasn't even a real business plan. It was just something I thought was a business plan.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he looked at it and he was like, about eating that elephant. Then he started showing me telling me books to go read.
Right.
And I was like, this is crazy. So by the time, halfway through that conversation, I zoned out of it. And I was like, yeah, because I was like, this is a trip. Like, dude, I'm already at a job. Why you, you know? So the next thing you know, it dawned on me. That was my sign.
Yeah.
I left that job in 2004 and haven't been back on a single job since.
Wow, really?
That's correct.
That's great, man.
I stood 10 toes down on starting my business with AP Vocal Touch Marketing in 2004. Mm-hmm. Later on, it was like all the guys were showing me what not to do because I had my daughter. I didn't have custody of her, but I was watching her a lot.
Yeah.
And then, so the next thing you know, then 2007, I was like, how come dads don't have nothing?
Right.
Around that time, only thing I saw was like a company called Fathers for Equal Rights.
Okay.
But they were dealing directly and primarily with like child support issues. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we need something different than that.
Right.
Like we need something that's like actually focusing on what we could do to like make a better relationship or be better men or do something. And that's when the name came.
Okay.
Building Better Fathers.
Wow.
That's exactly how it ended up coming. And so the next thing you know, I was like, I'm going to do this. And then so I was thinking I was doing something by getting a DBA and everything like that. I did not even know. My dad was like, you need to keep reading. I was like, well, dude, if you've been doing this forever, why don't you just show me how to do it? And he would not, for nothing in my life, show me nothing.
He just left you out there.
Yeah. And then he'd start telling me, yeah, you know, you don't want to get involved in this because he was still hurt, you know, going through stuff. And then he's like, you don't want to do that. You want to go get you a job. You need to do it. Right. And I was like, now how you going to raise a kid on a farm and not expect him to be a farmer?
Right, right.
You know?
Right.
I was like, you sing, I sing.
Right.
I say, you want to do nonprofit? I now want to do a nonprofit.
It's like, I'm following in your footsteps, man.
He did not like that at all. He was not caring for that.
Right,
he was like,
Yeah.
And then so later on, he just kind of like just allowed me to be me.
Yeah.
And then we got our little closeness, and I'd be taking him back and forth to work.
Yeah.
And that's how I got on this plane.
Okay. Okay. So from the very beginning, it's like you were exposed to creating out of thin air.
Out of thin air.
So
like,
you were
stuff that was nothing.
Right, right. So you're exposed to that, and then something inside of you, I guess it was awakened, and you said to yourself, okay, well, I'm a magician too. Let me start, you know, dealing in this and messing around in this, and next thing you know, you've got your magic potion. And so I want to get into the creator side or the inventor.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
you right there. Because I was about to say, go ahead.
Now, I wanted to ask you, so how in the world did you get to a point from saying, okay, you want to build a nonprofit out of thin air to saying, you know what, the world needs a smart mailbox. I think I'm going to give it to them. So
you know,
how'd you get there, man?
Because, but before all that, I was getting in trouble with my mom.
Okay.
Cause
we all?
She was giving me things, and I was taking it apart.
Okay.
And I didn't know. Like, the hard part about this is, it's like you would think I was so smart on a lot of things, but I would take stuff apart, and I would forget how to put it together.
Yeah.
And so, it didn't dawn on me to record. Like, as I was taking stuff apart and then figure out how to put it, just none of that stuff actually.
You was just taking it apart.
I was just taking everything apart. I'm serious. I was taking her iron. I was taking away. I'm talking about everything. She was so mad.
Yeah.
Like, she spent so much money on certain toys, all kind of little stuff I was saying I want.
Yeah.
I just take it apart.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I'm gonna put it back. No, she's like, you're not gonna put that back together. So I had started doing that type of stuff.
Okay.
And then I started getting into technology.
Okay.
Because even when dealing with building the fathers, what I realized is how you gonna build people and you ain't got no direction for them?
Ooh, wait, hold on. How you gonna build people when you don't have any direction for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I gotta sit with that one for a minute, man. That's deep.
Like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing? Just talking at them?
Right.
So that's when I start looking into like things that would help different companies.
Okay.
So that was the first basis, because I was doing websites and web graphic and all that type of stuff. So it was more on like, what is it that you need, or what is it that I needed that I didn't get?
Right.
So I didn't have nobody to help me market. So I need to figure that out. I didn't have this and that. Right. So now, as you see, as my mind is starting to think, this is the way my mind is starting to form, is what I didn't have, what I needed to get, trying to figure out all the things that's needed. Right. So then I started getting into branding and like making people's products and stuff. So even with your cup, I didn't say it earlier, but I was like, oh, I said I could help him with this podcast. I was like, what if we had changing color mugs?
Oh, okay.
Your wife will put the thing in there while we're drinking to pour some, and then all of a sudden the cup changed color. You say, yes, how you like these changing color mugs? And then we would go on there, you would say, hey, you can get one of these changing color mugs if you just do. And and that's just how my brain just thinks.
Right.
So,
and here I am just thinking, oh, just put the tea in there.
Hey, down to that, to turn around, and then you start saying, remember I was joking with her earlier, saying, let me find out y'all gonna have a little tea thing. That was me trying to slow my brain down. Right. I was like, okay, don't run people away. So I was really in my brain saying, you know what, we could get some 2-minute podcast tea brand up in here, and Sue,
we can self-market. We're going to level up.
I was like, Sue, scan this tea and listen to this show. But that's how my brain thinks. So then, now we get to a point where I'm stressed, and then all of a sudden, I start this small technology, I would say store. Okay. It was inside of a computer repair place. Okay. And I was getting to the point where I get it. I didn't have a lot of help, didn't have a lot of people. It was just me and my wife. But I needed products to sell, to show people, to create, to develop. Right. And then I was doing, I had the opportunity. This guy allowed me to come into his establishment and just be me. Okay. So I was doing it, and actually I was coming up. We was doing really well. Yeah. And I was showing people products and how to build. Even had my own water line. And then next thing you know, Prince Royal Water. I was branding everything. I had the chewing gum and everything. I had Teamwork Spirit Gum. And I put all those brands together because I was hoping to inspire people. Right. So after I got to that point, then all of a sudden, I guess God said, it's time for a change. And then, turn the corner. And then me and my wife, we were driving to go pick up some more products. Yeah. And we had got them, came back, and then all of a sudden, bam, we got hit by a truck. Oh, no. And then spun us around. Everything that I had just got, all the new products, just flew into the air. Stuff came out. The car almost flipped over. Wow. I was like, the dude ran the red light, everything. And lo and behold, I was sitting there like, babe, did you know that the jump box that we bought that was in the back of the trunk wrapped around the tire and kept it from flipping? What? Just like that. Yeah. The guy took the picture and everything. I was like, dude, this was the jumper box that I used in my truck. Yeah. And I forgot it was back there. And little to know, the wire wrapped around the tire deal. Yeah. And I believe that was the reason why we didn't flip. Wow. And so we just literally spun in a circle.
Yeah, yeah.
So after that, I was just like kind of lost. I started feeling like those rich people when everything is just going, they don't know what to do. It's, oh my gosh, I have anxiety. It's going down. I think I'm about to lose my life. I don't know what to do. How I'm gonna get some more products? It was so for real.
Yeah, yeah. It was like a movie scene, right?
I've been doing it, and everybody calling me. I can't really speak to them because now all of a sudden I'm amped up. Yeah. And then you ready for this? I go to the doctor, and I'm telling my wife I got some chest pains. Yeah. And we go up in there, and then next thing you know, they like, it's just in his head.
Oh yeah, man.
He just it ain't nothing. Yeah. And this and that, and we gonna give him some medication and stuff, kind of keep him calm, blah blah. Yeah. And then lo and behold, we get to the house, and my chest just start going thum 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 thum, and I literally could see my heart, like my chest coming. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on? So my wife, she listened to the doctors. Yeah. I don't judge her. With me, I was in my brain saying something's going on. Right. And so I said, no, we not. I'm finna jump my butt in the shower. I went in the shower, stayed there all night long, and then we went to go get my medication the next day. Oh, wow. Come to find out, they gave me the wrong medication.
Get out of here. Man.
The only way I found out was because the pharmacist stopped my wife from getting it, says we cannot sell him this. Yep. These two together will kill him. Yep. Just like that. Yeah. And we was like, but they gave me some last night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been there. And so I'm sitting there like, did this really just happen? Right. So next thing you know, they said, if we do anything, we can only give you one. So they ain't going to make me choose. I'm not a doctor.
Been there too. Right.
How do you make me choose a medication? Mm-hmm. And what do I do? Go Google, and you know what? Yeah. Well, this one might be able to make it with this one.
You got 15 hours with this one. You got 12 with this one.
You know? Yeah. So I pick one, and then all of a sudden, shoot, I'm back in that hospital almost fast, you know. Yeah. And little did I know, I calmed it down. Mm-hmm. We thought we were straight. We tried to go out of town to Colorado. Okay. And literally came... the day I came back, everything went haywire again. Wow. And then my wife was flying me through an icy storm, trying to get me back to Texas, right? Hoping that I could still be able to fly on a plane to get back to Texas. Yeah. Because right now I'm having that heart attack. Yeah. And it was inside the car while we was driving. Wow. So I'm literally hanging out of the car with ice hitting me in the face and chest to kind of keep my body cool. And we get there to the airport. Yeah. And then, like, I just whispered to her and tell her, what we not finna do is keep my body here. Right. You gonna get me on this plane. That's what you gonna do. Yeah. You gonna roll me to that restroom. I'm gonna throw everything away. Yeah. I'm gonna fix myself up. Yeah. And we're gonna quietly get myself on this plane, and you gonna get me back to Texas. She followed everything to the T. Got me slid right back through there. Yeah. I was on that plane. They were asking me questions and stuff. She was answering it for, oh, well, he just got a little something. I was there, over there. I started sweating real hard because I was like, it was just going, boom, this starting to happen again. I was like, oh, it's nothing, stuff like that. And then she throw a little water on me and keep me cool. Yeah. And we got on back to Texas. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So what sent me in the back in there was I got her to, she was working at the church. And when she was doing her thing at the church, then next thing you know, she was working at Antioch. Yeah. So when she was doing her thing at the church, then I dropped her off, and all the ladies going crazy in the parking lot because there's a dog out there. And so my butt thought, well, you know what? Be Superman. So I get out there, and I go chasing this dog. No. Yes, I was. Oh, my God. I chased the dog off the parking lot and everything. And then I said, yeah, I'll take it easy. And I go, and then I get to the house. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, lights almost out. And I called my wife, and I told her I'm having this heart attack again. Oh, man. And then she got that ambulance there, and she was driving right behind me. Yeah. And I'm still here today.
Dude, let's give it up to the wives in the world.
Because, we're not going to get emotional about this. But that was my time period that really had me like, okay, you either gonna figure this out on how to stay here and make things work, and then or whatever.
Right.
So that was the time when the male leadership came into me saying, okay, well, now how you gonna be able to take care of your family now? Because now you down for the count. Like, you done had heart issues now, and a lot of times, a lot of people be like, well, what's your man doing? What's he doing? This stuff like that. So I was like, I gotta do something. So I said, well, I'm going to order all the smart products online, and I'm going to put all them things together, and I'm finna come up with my own package, and I'm finna create smart homes. I ain't got to talk to people. I just got to have all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to say nothing to nobody. I just got to bloop. Look, did you see my house do all this stuff? I had the lights change the colors. I had everything. I had the first house in 2018 that was talking.
What?
Talking. In DeSoto, talking to people, scaring the mess out of them. I kept getting videos. I was recording the videos of them like shocked. They walk up and all of a sudden the house say, "Hi, can I help you?" And then and I'm like, "Yeah, we can't answer the door right now, but it's watching you." And then after that, I was like, "Yeah, that's the way we're gonna go.
Yeah,
we're finna do this." And I started getting on. Everybody started asking me questions. Everybody always asks me questions about my tech.
Okay,
so I became like a little tech evangelist, just showing people everything from drones, robots, and all kinds of stuff like that. So I just started doing it. So when they started asking me about that tech, and I said, I think I got something here. They just did not have, at the time, they didn't have a smart mailbox.
Okay.
That was around 2016.
Okay.
So I was already buying up all this other stuff. And then, so in 2017, I was still like, laying down and trying to do all this other stuff, but I had told my cousin, he's the builder that you see in the video.
Okay.
I had told my cousin, I was like, "Say, cuz, I want to build something." He like, "What you trying to build?" And this is after I got him to do a patio. So he put a concrete pad. He's really into concrete. He wasn't really into building. Stuff. Like he builds like he build houses. This stuff I was trying to do was small scale for him. So he didn't really like small stuff. And, you know, older people when they be like, "Oh, I want to do all this stuff." You know? So I had to talk him into it. And then while I was talking him into it, I was kind of like, he ain't gonna do it. And then I said, "Just do it for me, cuz mom. Just build me one."
Yeah, do it for me, cuz.
And then finally he did it. He started getting into it, and he was like, "Well, you want to make this?" And so we started doing it. And then there was certain stuff that like I had to go get friends that knew technology and stuff to come over and help me out to kind of get the mechanism to move. Because only I knew what I was doing. But they know certain things that needed to do certain things. So I was like, well, let me go get this hydraulic thing. I was trying to explain it to him. I was like, "Dude, we're gonna make it like a pop trunk. We're gonna make it." And it was like, what? I was like, just okay. What is that thing called that makes them thing go up and down? And then my dude said, "It's an actuator." And I was like, "I'm gonna go get one." So I went and got one. And then I didn't know how to work it. I didn't know how to turn it on. I was like, "This thing don't work." And he came over and hooked it up and showed it to me. And I videoed all that stuff. Like, I took everything because I was hoping that one day I would be able to pull everybody together. If unfortunately it didn't happen like that. Once an idea often gets to a certain point, then you get to see how everybody responds to it. So now me and my cousin, we started to get into it. Because, you know, now all of a sudden he wanted me to meet somebody. I couldn't go meet this person because I was sick. And I was trying my best to go meet these people, but my chest was really bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't move. You know what I'm saying? So instead of understanding or trying to get them to come to me, then it was more like, I got to jump to go run to these people, and I'm the one that created this thing. So
it didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right. So I couldn't do it. And then so then we get in more stuff. He said, "Oh, just pay me for my stuff, my service." I said, "Okay." Say no more.
Say less.
So, but I always kept the door open. I still always do. Because the things that I do sometimes, a lot of people don't realize, they're bigger than me. I like to do things that are bigger than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to pull us together as a family.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not going to go like that.
Right.
But the reality is, like, it's the Jonah situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to still be inspired. You're going to still change. You're
Right.
going to still have that thought in your mind now that you can go do something.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like I can help you, that's fine.
Right.
But now we're having new experiences.
Yeah.
You're now seeing how I want these kids to see that. Like they're getting a chance to see a real inventor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't even want to put color into it now.
Yeah.
We want to turn it around and really understand that, like, there was a time that we couldn't keep these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you see that we can.
Right. Right. And it's a big deal. It makes a difference.
So that's the reason why I kind of preach it more to people, to let them know, like, this is really our time. This is kind of like creating an automobile.
Right.
You know, and because I have the patent, yeah, it gives me the power, but it's still all about us.
Yeah.
So that means I can turn around and say, you be Toyota and you be Ford.
Right.
Because there's 3 different patents. You have the plant patent that is based off of you creating some new sensation with plants.
Okay.
Then you have a design patent that is based off of a new design that you are creating.
Okay.
And then you have a utility patent
Okay.
that is based off a function of something you created that now has a new useful mission in this world, basically.
So you had to get all 3 patents?
No, I just went to go get the utility
The
patent.
utility. Okay. Okay.
And the main reason why is because the mailbox that I created, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to try to get a design patent on something that already looks like something everybody's seen.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because focusing on a design when I need to be focusing on what it actually does.
Right. Right. And what exactly does it do?
It actually stores packages and mail
Okay.
in separate compartments, and is designed to be able to stop a lot of the theft that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important.
And another caveat is we needed to bring more work into our communities. Again, with building better fathers. How can I help people if I don't even have anything to give them a direction with?
Right. Right. Goes back to that original concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can't really help people if you ain't really, have something for them.
Right. Right.
And a lot of people don't really know all what they're going to do. They don't have a broad picture on it because they just don't have all those experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of like who you are with all the stuff that you got.
Yeah.
Folks going to look at it and be like, man, I wish I could, and not even realize, okay, all the stuff that goes into your thought process to get these lights set up right, to get, the mic set up right, to go through understanding which product is going to do the best for you, or which is going to fail on you. Those are things that you had the trial and error. You had to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So that's the reason why I figured, okay, you can't worry about the world. You got to get out here. You got to make these waves. You got to keep doing exactly what Richard needs to do.
Yeah, yeah. So from this whole entire experience, what have you learned, man? I mean, I know that you've learned a lot because you've done a lot, but when it comes from, let's go back to the car accident, and you went through that, and then trying to figure out exactly how to put the smart mailbox together, and then you had to go and get the patent, and then you had to try to sell it and get investors or whatever the case you needed to do. Through all of that, what are the lessons that you've learned and that you would take to building better fathers?
Walk hard.
Yeah.
Walk hard.
Yeah.
Stand on it.
Yeah.
Understand that what you're doing, you may be the only one that is doing it,
right,
or that's going to even help you do it.
Right.
I created the other LLCs so that just in case I didn't ever find an investor, then I would be able to fund some of these things that I got going on. And also these companies are set to create my own ecosystem to be able to help somebody else when they need, because somebody sees what you're doing. They honestly don't believe nobody's going to help them.
Right. Right.
So I wanted to be able to go out there and show them, no, it's not just about me and what I got going on.
Yeah.
I can be dealing with this mailbox over here, but again, my brain is going to think about you cups over there might help your show.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, because you're being a mentor at the same time that you're being an innovator and an entrepreneur. You're bringing it all together. And a lot of people, they don't think that way.
What did Pac say? And we not going to say the word, but ain't going to be no peace till the get a piece too.
Right.
I
love Pac, man.
Hey, when I said it, you already knew.
Yeah.
So it was like something we already know. We have to go back to those times.
Yeah.
We have to get back to each other and find out, okay, what are we going to do to build each other? I run AP Vocal Touch Marketing, AP Vocal Touch Records, Building Better Fathers, AP Vocal Touch Technologies, LLC, and now Transpo Constructo Land Technologies, construction company.
Okay, man, you just went like 14 levels up above my ability to understand that last part. Break that down for me. Is technology?
Transpo Constructo Land Technologies.
Okay, what exactly is that?
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Okay.
When you go to that bank, that bank wants to know what your business does.
Right.
And if you are in separate spaces, then they're going to get confused.
Yeah.
So by me creating this mailbox, I needed to put it in a company. So I put it in AP Vocal Touch Technologies.
Okay.
But I kept going around to builders trying to have them install my mailbox. And for some reason, their brain goes through astronomical prices to charge me.
Right.
So I said, why don't you create your own construction company that has the mindset of developing land, to not only develop land, but to add transportation into the system,
right,
and also landscaping. So that's a construction company. Then now I can add robots to develop everything that I want to do. So now we're not just making mailboxes. We're making smart properties.
Wow. Yeah, that's forward thinking right there, man.
Because again, what's the direction you're going to take these people to?
Right.
You know it's bigger than you, but what direction are you going?
Exactly.
So I have to pay attention to the weather of the atmosphere that's going on in the world, and then find a solution that's going to keep us afloat. Because we know for a fact that robots are coming. They're here.
Yep.
So instead of learning AI, I know everybody's been heard say, y'all better learn all the AI stuff that you can. But we're training the AI to basically control the robots. So this isn't a question about knowing AI. This is a question about who will own those robots that will be the ones working.
Yeah.
Those will be the people getting paid.
Yeah. Because people aren't thinking about that right now. You know.
Not realizing, okay, don't get mad at the robot taking your job. I need to be finding out how I can get one of them robots so I can put it to work.
Yeah.
Your safe space is here.
Yeah.
I need these robots out here doing what they need to do to keep everything funneling everything in.
Yeah. Because it's coming.
Now, we can't tell them too much, but we shaking some stuff in this gumbo.
Right.
And God is working. It's my best lesson I learned is just lean on him.
Yeah.
That's really, if you lean on him, because the stuff I've had to deal with, I'm gonna say it like I said it on Channel 4. It ain't for the weak.
Right. You gotta have faith. You gotta have a lot of faith.
More than faith. You have to have stubborn, stupid faith. You have to be that dodo with the unclear, we don't know what you doing faith, and be in your zone saying, baby, just tell me something make me feel good about my life. Just tell me something. Give me some motivation. And when she frustrated, you better lean over that bed and motivate yourself. Be like, you will figure something out. You will get there some kind of way. Right. So, because I don't go on podcasts.
Right.
I don't go talking to a lot of people.
Right.
I never forgot you.
Right. And I appreciate that.
And you just have a heart that's like nobody I've ever met. And
you, man.
I was a little frustrated even with you for a while. I was like, man, I just met the coolest person alive. Why everybody else wouldn't even mention my name, and they know I'm the one they got that from and that from and that from. I say, this brother put me on Front Street and couldn't wait to say something about my patent. I was like, we've been through it. And then all of a sudden disappeared. I was like, what did I do? I was like,
not even knowing I'm in the hospital, man.
Abandonment. I mean, but it was. I wish I had known.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I probably would have been in that next bed right with you. We'd have been in there like, you better breathe, bro. I'm gonna breathe. You better breathe next. I'm gonna breathe too.
Yeah.
But I really think that everything happens for a reason. So we're gonna change.
Yeah.
And things gonna get better.
Yeah.
And we just need to focus, especially when it comes down to this mailbox. If I was to say anything about it, we need more products that we can control and develop.
Right.
And that's the reason why if anybody watches this podcast and you remember me talking to you, I'm going to tell you, realize right now, we need something that's going to be monumental, that's going to give us a way for the future.
Right.
Whether you're going to start your own business and make these mailboxes and put your brand to it by getting a license, then like that's the way you have to start thinking. This is the time where we can say, okay, now I'm finna start my first automobile company.
Yeah.
And I'm finna be able to do this. If you start that now, you're just like all the other car dealerships.
Right.
But now you have something you know that we need.
Yeah.
You know people are stealing packages. You know the rain is out there and it's damaging stuff. You know for a fact that the packages even be going to the wrong houses.
Right.
Like there is so much that we just know. So we don't need to bypass a good idea, even if it's a good idea by somebody else. Stop doing that. It's
true. Yeah.
Just stop. The whole competing thing.
Yeah.
I want to ask people, how'd that work out with you saying you wanted to do your own thing by yourself? No, I'm good. I got that.
Yeah.
No, how'd that work out? It don't ever work out.
Because we need community. We need community. And if we look historically, at our community, it's always been better when everyone worked together. So, I mean, to me, it seems like it's common sense.
I do stuff for people you would never even think that I just do stuff for.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even know when I'm helping them out, and they be wanting me to do more, and don't even realize I'm sick.
Right.
And I be like, dude, I can't come up. I can't do this because I'm sick.
Right.
But at the same time, I know I'm not sick. I know that, God just got me like sometimes sitting in the corner trying to.
Yeah, it's a timeout.
Yeah, just a timeout to kind of get myself together. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll be back on I'm talking.
Yeah.
So that's really how it ends up going and developing now. I'm just glad that like I get an opportunity to go through all these different stages because now I realize that I appreciate even the hurt and the pain.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that it helps people.
Yeah.
That your pain helps people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially when they can see you get through it.
Yeah.
So
that's really big.
I saw you had a guy. I hope he watches this. I saw you had a guy on your podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I did his website. What up, C-Boy? So we gonna chop it up soon. I've been a little tied up. But I had to make sure.
You got to make sure you get that message.
Yeah, because he's a good guy, man. He's really good. I like what he was doing and everything. And I really kind of pumped him up because there's a lot of stuff I wanted to do with him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden my heart started messing with me again. I was like,
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, how can I tell them I'm laying over there? They so strong and healthy and all these fuckers. I'm just running around here like,
Well, he's definitely going to hear it because, I mean, the one good thing, the podcast has been growing, and in part thanks to people like you coming on and sharing the stories and sharing their successes. And I know we're getting to the end of our time, but the one thing I want to do is, yes. So we've got a camera over here. If you can point it at this camera over here. And
we do have the utility patent.
All right.
It's real. It is very real here.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you to talk about or to find out information about the smart mailbox,
you can contact me at 214-208-0353. Email me at newfather, NEWFATHER @att.net. And I will definitely want to work with you. I actually want to work with you all.
Cool.
But I will let you know, I'm going to get to that finish line. Correction, I know your father. So
before we jump out, I always like doing this thing called culture check. And it's based off of this, what I call this or that. So I've got a quick this or that for us before we jump out of here. And it's all fathers based because we're talking about building better fathers. Okay, so everybody hates Chris. Okay, the father on that show versus the father in Creed 3. I'm not going to give the names of the fathers because that would be cheating in my mind. So the first set is, would you go with the dad on Everybody Hates Chris? Or would you go with the dad in Creed 3? And I said Creed 3 for a specific reason because he was not a dad in Creed 1 or 2. Wait, was he? Well, he did. Yeah, he became a father in Creed 2. But anyway, so.
I would most likely be the one where everyone hates Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris, he got too many characters coming out, and his dad wasn't perfect, and he could see that. And that's just what it is.
All right. And I got one more for you. My Wife and Kids. Or Good Times. The dad on My Wife and Kids or the dad from Good Times.
Say it one more time.
The dad from My Wife and Kids, Damon Wayans, he was on that show. And then Good Times.
Good Times.
Good Times. Yeah, I think everybody would go to Good Times. What are you listening to nowadays? Music?
Me and my artist.
Who are some of your artists?
My artist is Free. His name is Free.
Okay.
He's a young, talented young brother that does his thing. You can see FR33. I would look at testimony music. And then I also listen to my stuff.
Okay.
I don't listen to a lot of other people's stuff. Some country.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of disappointed in the music scene right now.
Yeah.
Only because they're not being as creative with trying to pull their voices out. A lot more people being more creative with AI, coming out with AI songs, and it's gonna lose the connection with people.
Right.
So it's like you want to kind of gain some kind of closeness with the person that you actually listening to.
Right.
Relate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you find out you're not even a person.
Yeah.
You just, what? So I'll never be able to see you in person. I'll never be able to see you have a music video that's real, and none of that stuff. So, yeah, I haven't really been listening to a lot other than the stuff that we're developing and pushing out.
Okay, good deal. Well, Richard Prince II, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Very nice. And I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my daughter and my son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alina, love you. Xavier, love you. We doing what we do. So, and my wife and everybody out there, I want to definitely give a special shout out to everybody that has placed any type of attention on anything that I'm doing and wanted to share it to somebody or wanted to reach out to me to see if they could connect me with somebody. Like, I really appreciate you for everything that you're doing and have done. And I won't let you down because I'm not going to stop. You're not ever going to see me stop.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. And we have the inventor, the philanthropist, the activist, husband, dad, businessman. Thanks again for showing up, man. I appreciate it.
I'm just an alien. I know. I get it. I get it.
And with that, we out.